Seam and four-seam fastball that he'll split up about 50%. The curveball we mentioned, the slider. It's also got a changeup he'll throw occasionally.
2 balls and 2 strikes to start the ballgame for Brett Gardner, who slashes it into the opposite field. Laying out is Nimmo to make a fine catch. If there's a guy to get excited about for the Mets this year, Alex, we just saw him in left field. Been good, as we mentioned. Last 13 appearances, only one of those a start, of 1.07 ERA. And he strikes out Stanton. Let's talk a little bit about the Yankees, who have a full head of steam at the start of this one. Winners in 9 of their last 10. Jess mentioned they lead the American League in slugging.
Ben, and you think about it, Greg Bird and Gary Sanchez right now, the 3-4 hitters in this lineup, both hitting under 200. So scary to think when these bats get going.
And there's a base hit for Greg Bird.
Off-speed pitch.
Of course, they have the judges' chambers across town at Yankee Stadium. That was built during his rookie year. On the ground to third. Frazier the short way. And it's a scoreless first for Seth Lugo. Underway.
Well, Severino, we spoke about it earlier. I mean, he is the full package in a deep arsenal with a fastball, great changeup, and that power slider.
Back to him for the first out.
And what you'll see tonight is a very focused athlete, game face, moves around very quickly. He's in the best shape of his
first, Indy in second, and the show horse is right here in Flushing, Queens. Severino's next 3-2 pitch, and he strikes out Frazier, his first of the night. This is the list, and it ain't pretty. Jerry's familiar. Rafael Montero. I mean, the bullpen has been hit. The starter
does not being the lineup. Well, the best hitter right now in this lineup is Brandon Nimmo in this third spot. The battle going on right now.
The next 3-2, and he works the walk. And look at him sprint down to first base when he draws that base on balls.
You do not see that every day.
Mickey Callaway told us.
Now, as a hitter, this can be 33% fastball, changeup, or fastball.
And he lost him with the fastball up and away. And that's back-to-back 2-out walks.
Washington Senators.
1919 buster. Throwing it way back.
And just like that, he's out of the jam.
He's been wide open, looking to pull the ball. Didi Gregorius, believe it or not, in his career has never hit a ball for a home run to left center field. All his home runs in his career have been right field, right center field.
Full count, if you will. Very familiar with the 3-2 pitch. Got him looking. So with 2 gone, let's
hit. Great pitching.
The next 1-2 to Andujar. Line back up the middle for a base hit.
Linea.
What was it that Aaron Boone was saying? Maybe you can explain it for us, Alex, how he lays the bat in the zone for such a long time.
Yeah, he sure did. He was basically saying Gary Sanchez.
Look at it. Yes. Oh, everyone's going to watch him open up. Look at where his front foot goes.
He's Ruben Sierra.
Oh, my.
Oh.
He would not be denied. Strikes out on 3 pitches, so it's a scoreless inning for Seth. 0-2 to Conforto is cracked into the opposite field. It's going to chase Gardner into the corner at the track. He's able to put Adrian Gonzalez, signed by the Mets to fill a spot that they think will be occupied by a top prospect, Dominic Smith. Another left-handed batter with pop, and that's the third strikeout for Severino already tonight.
That slider, and you got to understand, this has more depth.
Number with 2 gone and the base is empty.
You want to see this slider? There's the blue, the white is average. That is the average slider in baseball. The blue is Luis Severino's.
How about that for a good morning, good afternoon, good night inning? happened so fast, Severino. What?
I think the main thing, it was kind of like a feel. You know, I was throwing the ball. It was more shoulder kind of throw, kind of like getting it, just trying to feel it and get it over instead of that kind of loosey-goosey kind of feel. So for me, I would get it. You know, the more time I had, the more thoughts go through your head. So I was like, all right. And next thing you know, I was.
Lugo with a pause at the bottom of his set, and he strikes out Gardner, his 5th of the ball game so far. Draft selection back in 2011 out of Centenary in Louisiana. Stanton sends a flare out to shallow center. Conforto comes on to make the catch and retire the side. They go down in order against Lugo in the 3rd, still scoreless in Queen. Napier and Rob Nen. I don't think mechanically Luis Severino reminds anybody of Kevin Napier, who was unconventional, and I mean, he was straight caveman and awesome, by the way, and took about a half second between pitches. But the action of the pitch has been such that it reminds him of that, and here it is again.
You know, we talked about with the K-Zone 3
to guard have the fastest in their arsenal. Severino averaging 97 tonight, and there's a rollover ground ball for Torres at second. And a quick out number 2. Hey, our Major League Baseball coverage continues on Tuesday. A very special night. The Mets and Braves. It's a Hank Aaron's.
You get multiple innings there, you can really get in depth, especially with that crew.
Here's Todd Frazier now. He was a strikeout victim in the 1st. And he's got a base hit to right here in the 3rd.
And even though he struck out on his first at bat, he still had 8 pitches, which they back there, stay with it. It's very rare for a pitcher try to calm a catcher down. It's usually the other way around.
The 3-2 served into left, and Gardner is able to squeeze it to keep another base.
That in the dugout throughout the game. Aaron, thanks.
Hard to argue. That's what the numbers would tell you. Last 3 games, they've had a home run in the 8th inning or later that's changed the score. Here's Greg Bird leading things off against Lugo in the 4th with a fly ball to center for Conforto. We have had a change defensively in the offing. We noted how that when you talk about Gary Sanchez and whatever defensive shortcomings he has had to deal with, and there are some, the thought has always been maybe the guy would finish out his career at DH as he's retired here on a ground ball. The problem there is they've got a guy at DH in Giancarlo Stanton who's making a lot of money. Singles so far tonight has the New York Mets right-hander. 2 out singled by Greg Bird in the 1st, 2 out singled by Andujar in the 2nd. The only base runners on his watch tonight. And he gets Gregorius to pop it up. It is 7 in a row retired by the Mets right. One of the 2 first-inning walks with 2 away that made it look like the Mets were going to get something done against Luis Severino early, but he has tightened up since. Bruce with a drive out to right center. Hicks at the track denies Bruce his first home homer of the year. With 1 gone, we take our hats off.
Years for $488 million. $315 of that is what the Yankees owe.
Devin Mesoraco's got a base hit.
But what allows them to be able to absorb these type of contracts is you have 7 players. Judge, Severino, Sanchez, Bird, Andujar.
Judge, a possible Cy Young. Luis Severino. You got the rookies, Torres and Andujar. Those would be the 3 or 4 I'm holding on to. But they're all good.
Around for Torres. Oh man, and Gregorius bobbles on to add around that core. That's the sweet spot, right? That's what all 30 are trying to do. And Gonzalez is a strikeout victim for a 2nd time. 5% matched him pitch for pitch. Each with 5 strikeouts. Each having allowed just a couple of base runners. Make it 6 strikeouts for Lugo tonight. Tomorrow night, our ESPN Plus Monday night matchup takes us to the AL East. The Red Sox and Orioles. Houston and Justin Verlander, or Seattle and James Paxton. That's hardly a how do you do for winning 103 games. You're still going to have to sing for your supper in a wild card game. Little flare out to right, and Reyes gets out there to make the catch.
You know, Matt, that's a great point. And Coach Larry Rothschild said, okay, that was enough fun. Now don't swing anymore.
Yeah, don't hurt yourself.
Yeah.
He's closed off like Stanton now. And he strikes out again.
Hit Mesoraco, too.
Boy, good hops from Greg Bird.
It looked like he was doing a stunt for the old Letterman show, like the Velcro suit routine. Another strikeout for Severino. Second time he's gotten Lugo tonight. Hey, the Yankees did while you were there for Hope Week that impacted you.
Yeah, we met a lot of kids that had some cancer. That was very tough. We went out and built schools. We went out and went into the communities that some kids that were sick, we would surprise them, work with a mother about 10 years.
2 quick outs meanwhile for Luis Severino, who has struck out the last 3 that he's faced. And he's got Jose Reyes behind 0-1. And Reyes bounces a base hit through the right side.
He looks like the Cy Young winner of the American League.
It's amazing. He does something completely different with his mirror next to his bed than I do. I look at it and I say, I'm good enough. I'm strong enough. I'm big enough. Todd Frazier big enough to hit a big boy ball out to left. That gets out of here.
And we talked about Todd Frazier first at bat.
Pitch for him. I wouldn't be surprised as he gets now 3rd time through the order if he starts throwing that changeup more.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Brandon Nimmo. And he swats that into right field.
And Severino and Sanchez have not been on the same page all night.
Nimmo runs again, and Bruce shoots it back up the middle. Backhanded play by Gregorius to end the inning. Wow. In Major League Baseball through the first 2+ months of the season. These are guys that have been around the block a time or two. Matt Kemp has already won National League's Comeback Player of the Year honors for the most of us, as Gleyber Torres swings at the first pitch from Seth Lugo and pops to the right side of the infield. Let's go back to that list, because you've got guys like the veterans Kemp and Nick Markakis, who, by the way, has never been. 2 balls and a strike to Brett Gardner, batting with the bases empty and 1 away as he sprays a fly ball to center field. Something of a mutual admiration society between the guy that just swung the bat and the. This will be the 84th pitch of the appearance by Lugo. And he gets Stanton looking. And there's ball 4.
I think about Luis Severino and the night that he's had, the 5 Ks and how they've come.
Nimmo and Gonzalez, 4 of the 5 batters there, are left-handed. It could get interesting later on should Aaron Boone's lineup give him a chance to perhaps earn a win tonight. Popped into left as Gardner scurries under it for out number 1. Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN presented by Top. Got him. And there are 2 gone. It'd be spots pinch hitting against a left-handed bullpen guy where Bautista could excel. Just 167 against Southpaws this year as Shreve strikes him out to strand that leadoff walk. Singles tonight. That's all they were able to accomplish in 6 innings against Seth Lugo. And a called strike 3.
Well, think about the night that Seth Lugo came in. Usually a bullpen guy
and Sale. And those are the guys you want to beat. In order to beat them, you got to tighten your defense. And Gary Sanchez and Didi and Greg Bird have to get going.
Jam shot. Easy routine play for Frazier and 2 gone. Seth Lugo left the Mets in pretty good shape after 6 scoreless and visited with Mickey Callaway along every bit as good as those who have gone before him in the rotation the last 8 days. The problem for the Mets hasn't been starting pitching, as we've talked about all night. It's been their inability to score. Gregorius into right center, a ball pretty well hit. Over for it with time, however, is Conforto, and Robert gets in an ideal case scenario that he would not have to use Aaron Judge. But trailing late, a base runner, and he might have an opportunity tonight. The liner gobbled up by Torres, 1 away. One out, bases empty, and a 2-0 Mets lead last of the 7th. The next 3-2 pitch home to Reyes is swatted into center field. Hicks coming on for it, and there are 2 gone. Would bet that Gesellman's going out there for the 8th as well, as he'll face Hicks and Duhar, and then a pinch hitter.
Should be another slider here by Warren.
It was, and Frazier off the end of the bat sends it out to shallow left, tracked down. Mesoraco sets the inside target. That's right where Gesellman delivers it to strike out Hicks.
Yeah.
In fact, he's got an OPS over 1,000 with 2 strikes in the last 30 days. And for a young hitter.
How big is that?
Jeez.
That brings the tying run to the plate in the form of Aaron Judge. First pitch from Gesellman. On the ground to shortstop. And the throw to first goes bad, thanks in part by the slide of Andujar. Oh, and 2 to Torres. Popped him up. Gonzalez hoping for a play in foul territory. And there are 2 gone. That's to what was their 7th straight loss. Gardner sends a fly ball into left. And Nimmo's able to handle it, and Gesellman's able to stretch.
He gets under that pitch, but he's able to make contact with it.
Simple swing and an amazing story for a first-round athlete who didn't even play high school baseball because it wasn't offered in Wyoming, where Brandon grew up. He's a strikeout victim to start the bottom of the 8th.
Sandwiches, you can tell I ate.
I mean,
innings,
you're making us hungry.
You got food in front of you. Go for it.
Full count pitch from Holder is swung on and missed. Bruce kept hitless tonight. A reminder, weekdays. Mesoraco with a swing and a fly ball to the left field corner that Gardner drifts over to corral and give the Yankees one last chance tonight. They'll have their middle of the order in the. And Stanton's caught looking. The 3-1. He takes ball 4. So for the 2nd straight inning, the Yankees will have an opportunity with the tying run stepping to the plate.
off. Greg Bird is not going to take the chance to get thrown out.
2-0 to Sanchez is lined right to Frazier, back to first, and that'll do it. And the Mets survive.